Tonight at the Internet Cafe, movies on the web. Want to get your film or video seen? Check out Artist Television Access for help. What's it like to work with Eric Idle and the Monty Python Gang? Meet Charlie Oddie, producer of the CD-ROM version of Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail. Want to learn how to create digital movies on your PC? You can get advice at the Low Res Film Festival site. And Hollywood Special Effects. Meet Ed Martinez for a guide to websites that reveal the secrets. Plus free software, the Cineweb Netscape plugin, and film clips from Larger Than Life and Space Jam. All coming your way on our Cyber Blast. Movies on the web tonight at the Internet Cafe.
The Internet Cafe is made possible in part by Intel. One innovative idea always leads to another. Now there are connected CD-ROMs that link rich multimedia with related information on the Internet. For connected CD-ROMs, it's the Intel Pentium processor.
Hi, and welcome to the Internet Cafe. I'm Stewart Cheifet here with Jane Wither and Andrew deVries. And we're here at Cybersmith in Palo Alto, California, talking about movies on the web tonight. Though you really can't watch movies on the web, can you?
Well, I know Hollywood would really want you to think that you can. In fact, you're seeing like DreamWorks with Steven Spielberg and Disney. They're all getting into putting content online.
Well, movie trailers are certainly going up on the web.
Right, and they really are kind of excited about this repurposing content.
Right,
how can we reuse our video and on the web? But right now, the technology is just really not really there. I mean, the bandwidth is just...
Yeah, I mean, I don't frankly get people who are going to spend 30 minutes downloading a 10-second movie trailer for some movie, and you know, what's the point?
And it'll probably play at like 15...
You know, one of the things that bandwidth is the issue. It's one of the inhibitors, but with the Cyber Blast segment, we can now... This is the one question I had for you, is the speed at which we transmit on the Cyber Blast, because we're going to download movie segments.
Yeah, the Cyber Blast thing we do in Internet Cafe is interesting because what we do is get out of that narrow bandwidth of the telephone line, use the broad bandwidth of a television signal to move data, so it does help solve that problem. Anyhow, movies on the web tonight here at the Internet Cafe.
So there's been a lot of talk about the new media and how technology has really, made independent filmmaking more accessible. People can do stuff, edit stuff online. You come from Artist Television Access. Tell me a little bit what that's about.
Well, that's a place, I think, that makes video and digital editing really accessible in the sense that we have really cheap classes, we have really low-cost editing. And it's not available in a lot of different places around the United States.
No, and so how do you find out about Artist Television
Well, we
Access?
have a website, and I do the website, and hopefully people find ATA through that way.
Okay, and when I go up on that site, what am I going to find up there?
How to get your film on our cable show, how to have a show in our gallery, what kind of classes we offer. There's links to other sites, other film resources.
And other artists as well, so you can go up there and find that. What type of classes do you offer?
We have all different programs. We have a multimedia program. We have classes that are taught in Spanish, internet.
In Spanish, really? You find that there's a big calling for Spanish-speaking
well,
folks?
ATA is located in the Mission in San Francisco, which is mostly Latino.
Right.
And we just started to have this actually, which is kind of ironic, but it's really great because there are a lot of incredible artists that are bilingual in the area.
Excellent. So you're starting to reach a much wider audience because of that. Great. So what are some of the resources? If I'm an independent filmmaker, I want to get going, or I'm just a beginner and I want to get going.
There's so many, it's crazy. I mean, the sites I like are kind of sites that are compendiums of information, like a site, Flickr.
So you mean compendiums sort of like a jumping off point,
right.
like you get on there and there's...
They list where you can distribute your film, where you can, biographies of different artists, where you can learn to do video, where you can learn to make film.
So distribution, you just mentioned. What can I find as far as that
Well,
goes?
I think for independent video and filmmakers, it's really, that's probably the hardest thing, right? You're
Right.
probably never going to show your work in a
You don't have access to Hollywood
right.
and all that, right?
So
what do you do?
I think it's kind of a rebellious act. You just take it in your own hands and you do a website and advertise your film, or
and actually like sell it on the web, or
you could do. I think a lot of people, their interest is having it shown.
Okay.
Having it shown in different places, and I think the web tends to make more of a community in a sense. And
so in a sense, though, you'll find film festivals, independent making film festivals where
like
people show 8mm or 16mm films.
Like more low budget sort of
Where
stuff.
do they get projectors for those things?
I don't know. But like there's a woman at ATA who did a film called The Source, which is about women surfers, a really great film. And
about women surfers?
Women surfers. And
Web surfers or actual wave surfers?
Surf surfers.
Oh, okay.
Because we're from California.
Well, it's the internet too. You got to clarify
And it's
that.
great because she could do a website, and hopefully people will see. You know, she can refer people to that. People can rent the video from there. And
How do you rent a film on a website?
Cybercash. Well, I guess you would just, you know, the thing is that you can find what you're looking for, hopefully. There's all kinds of listings of different videos. There's a place in San Francisco called Leather Tongue that was kind of way ahead of all this, and they had...
Oh, I've heard of that.
They
It's
had
on
the whole
Valencia,
inventory
yeah.
up on the web, and people all over could basically rent the videos.
And that's like not your average like
No,
blockbuster
not at
video.
all.
These are
No,
films
cult
that you
films,
can't get.
gay and lesbian films, stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Right, and
Really
you
low
go up
budget
on
stuff,
there and
yeah.
you find it. So what are some other resources that would, you know, help the would-be filmmaker or
Well, there's a place called Squeaky Wheel. I just actually checked.
Squeaky Wheel?
Yeah, they're from Buffalo. I checked out their website today, and they had a really nice listing of all the festivals that are happening, what their addresses are, what the dates are for submissions.
And that's really interesting because Buffalo, I mean, that's really a far out place, and here they are getting information that you in San Francisco were able to see.
Right.
So what's a film festival coming up that you think is an interesting one?
God, I don't know.
We'll have to
I've
go
been
on
so
the site.
busy, I haven't paid attention.
Okay, well, we'll go on the site
Okay.
and check it out. Great.
If you're a fan of Hong Kong ultraviolence films like John Woo or Jackie Chan, you should check out www.hkfilmmag.com. This online version of the popular Hong Kong fanzine will give you all the latest in Hong Kong, chop sake, and ultraviolence films. Those give you the best in guns, kung fu, and beautiful women.
Charlie, first thing I want to ask you, I mean, how did you get this great job of producing the CD-ROM of Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail? That has to be a great fun task.
Run away! Well, yes, it was pure luck, actually. You know, it was a matter of talking to some people that I'd worked with before, and my background kind of as a filmmaker and as a gamer, and kind of hooking up with these guys and being able to put together a game.
So you got the perfect background. So you're a filmmaker, gamer. Now, what's this process of taking a movie and turning it into a multimedia CD-ROM?
Well, let's see. In our case, I think we were particularly lucky because we had some of the best material you could hope for. We had, you know, Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail, and it's kind of like, as I told a friend of mine, it's like being handed the Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, you're handed this great project.
Great stuff, right?
Everybody has an opinion, and everybody has an idea of what they think you should do with it.
And you can always screw it up. You can't make it better, right?
Yes. So you got to make sure that you're, you know, doing something that is true really to the Python sensibilities.
Yeah, now you were working with these crazy guys, right? I mean, the Monty Python people, Eric Idle and all that stuff. What was that like?
Oh, Eric Idle's is a great guy. Eric was one of the executive producers, and I'll never forget, I spent about 3 or 4 months writing up kind of an initial draft of what the game might be, which was going to be a parody of a role-playing game. You know, I presented it to Eric and Bob Ezrin, the other executive producer, and Eric, you know, read this 200-page document and said, well, that's all very good, but where's the movie? And,
Where's my movie?
Where's this crazy movie? So we used that as a kind of starting off point, and they kind of looked at the game almost like as an inverted pyramid. And it's like at the very top level, the very little point, is everything for all the Python fans. Everybody that's a Monty Python fan.
So if you're into Python stuff, you want to have your jollies here watching.
You can go into this game and you can see everything, see film clips, be able to see exactly, you know, the things you want to get out of it. Then the next level down, it becomes, you know, a little bit more complicated because they're like little arcade games. There's a game where you get to actually, you know, throw the not yet dead man into a pit, you know, along with a bunch of other not yet dead guys. And
well, there's great typical Python stuff in there. I mean, just when you start up the game, I mean, you know, it asks you to register, and of course that's just like really one big put on, which is funny. It says you want to see the film, right? You click on that, zip, you know, the film goes by in a couple of seconds.
That film is, the film clip is actually every 30 seconds, one frame. So if you went through the film, which I did, and pulled out one frame every 30 seconds and then showed it, surprisingly enough, you'll actually see the whole movie, and it's really pretty fun.
Now, what is the thing? I mean, it's not really a game. It's not really the movie. Well, I mean, what do you call Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Well, you know, this is this game is like its own.
You even can't answer that question.
This game is like its own genre.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a normal game.
It's like when the Pythons first hit TV. You know, it was hard to categorize them. It was hard to say, you know, what is this?
That's a good point.
And this game is really similarly its own individual particular thing. You know, it has humor, it has gameplay.
It's Monty Python.
It's Monty Python. It's intellectual, it's verbal. At the same time, there's, you know, fart jokes. What can I say? You know, I fart in your general direction. So, you know, there's everything from the top to the bottom.
Now, you also, there's a website, right? Python Line. And what goes on the website?
The website is a really good example of kind of the ongoing Python process. It's mostly written by Eric Idle, and it's on the web, and Eric really spends a lot of time.
And it's funny, I've been on the site.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same kind of humor there.
It's great stuff. I mean, Eric, basically, Bob Ezrin, our executive producer, keeps Eric Idle tied to a radiator, chained there, and says, Eric, finish writing this stuff or you won't
All right, I'm going to tie you down. I want
loose."
you to help me get through this damn game because I haven't gotten anywhere yet. So let's try this.
Get all the way through it. It's going to take us a little longer.
On tonight's Cyber Blast, we're going to send you 2 movie clips, 4 GIF files, and a video viewer plug-in. That's nearly 4 megabytes of data in the next 120 seconds. If you haven't seen these Cyber Blasts before, this is the actual computer data going through the TV signal and right into your computer. I'll explain a little bit later how you can set up your computer to receive the software. First of all, let's tell you what we're downloading to you right now. The file you see coming down now is the Cineweb plugin from Digigami. This is a Netscape plugin that converts QuickTime and video for Windows movie clips into movie streams for live, real-time internet playback. The file is about 1.2 megabytes. Next, we're going to send you 2 movie clips. The first one is from the new Bill Murray movie, Larger Than Life. In the movie, Bill inherits an elephant and then has to take it across the country to California. Sounds like quite an adventure. By the way, if you were downloading this file using a standard 28.8 modem, it would take you 12 minutes to receive the file. We're sending it to you through the TV signal in 45 seconds. Next, we're going to send you a clip from the new Michael Jordan movie, Space Jam. In this clip, Michael is messing around with his new cinematic buddies, the Looney Tunes characters. You can set this clip up as a cool video screensaver on your PC. Then we're also sending you 4 GIF files taken from the Space Jam movie. These are different shots of the Tasmanian Devil, aka Taz, in the movie. If you can't get enough of this character, you can use these stills as wallpaper inside Windows. Now, to download these files this fast, you do need a TV modem. If you don't have a TV modem, you can still get these files on our website. Total download time will be about 30 minutes with a 28.8 phone modem. If you need information on how the TV modem works or how to set it up, you can also get that on our website. Just go to www.pctv.com and click on the Internet Cafe or Cyberblast buttons. The download is just about finished, so have fun with the new files. And this wraps up the Cyberblast on this Internet Cafe. I'm Giles Bateman.
So Jonathan, you've been on a whirlwind for the last, 18 months with the new Low-Res Digital Film Festival. Tell me a little bit about how this festival started.
Well, interestingly, the whole thing got its start and probably appropriately in our basement south of Market as part of a kind of a big blowout Christmas party. And we had invited a bunch of friends who are working in multimedia to kind of submit films. And in this Christmas party, we had a room showing films that was the most popular part of the party. And we decided, like, God, for all the energy we put into this, why don't we do a public event? So last October, we contracted a warehouse kind of art gallery south of Market in San Francisco, and we're blown away by the response, sold out all of our shows. 4 months later, we were in Europe doing the same thing, and just kind of tremendous growth over the last...
So you were mentioning to me you thought there were about 100 people you could seek for the first show. You sold out, and I think the last one was 1,500 people at your film festival.
In August, we've done 1,500 people.
That's incredible. I mean, it in itself, this concept of digital film and what you're doing here is really a revolution. I mean, it's just indicated by the number of people. So tell me a little bit about what low-res digital film, what is it really all about?
Low-res isn't low quality, rather it's how people are using this technology and enabling them to make really cool independent films on low budgets. So now someone at home can make a broadcast quality film that they would have had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in the past to make, and now they can do it on just a couple of $1,000s. This is like a revolutionary thing, just as we saw PostScript and the laser printer revolutionized the publishing industry years ago. Now we're seeing a digital video revolution that now people can make films and home videos at professional quality in their home.
So the impact is not necessarily just on the film industry itself, because obviously now that you've got digital cameras and so on, so for those of us in the business, you can now use digital cameras, but now you're talking about people using digital cameras in their own homes to be able to do the things that they would never have even thought about doing before, perhaps.
Yeah, our festival features films both from professionals like Spike Jonze and Sophia Coppola, and also people that we've never heard of, and it's all kind of shown on equal footing. I mean, we've seen equally innovative work from all kind of aspects of skill and creativity.
So desktop publishing was this big revolution where all of a sudden now I could do my own brochure at home and I wouldn't have to go and pay for the typesetting and all of those things. So now what you're talking about is you can film it on a digital camera, you can now edit it, you can add special effects and animation.
Sound.
And normally, I mean, if we're talking about big budget films, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to be able to deliver that kind of editing. And now we're doing it one person on a PC, editing it, creating it just the way they want to. And so how much would it cost? I mean, if I wanted to start creating my own film, how much would it cost me to be able to edit it and create the entire film?
I mean, you could go out tomorrow and spend, $2,500 and get a machine and start learning these tools. So obviously, when you're talking about something that's broadcast quality and full screen, 30 frames a second, you're talking about more about $20,000. But still, in comparison to what this would have cost in the past, that's an enormous savings.
Right. So I can pretty much, depending on how far I want to go, I can spend the amount of money.
And obviously, you'd want to start on a system and kind of learn it before
Right.
you'd invest that much money.
So it's the same thing with desktop publishing, though. I mean, we had a lot of people who had absolutely no talent in graphics and fine art and those types of things trying to do desktop publishing, and some things came out pretty awkward.
Right. I mean, just by buying this equipment doesn't make you a filmmaker.
Right.
But certainly there's a lot of people out there who in the past wouldn't have been able to make a film just because they couldn't afford it, who are now going to be enabled by this technology to make really great stuff. So I think in the future we're going to see the next Spielberg or Lucas is going to come out somewhere in the Midwest with a computer is going to create something really great that we never would have seen in the past. And so it's going to be really exciting to see what develops in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to me. I've actually, some whitewater kayaking movies I've seen, and actually the guy is sitting with a digital camera in his kayak filming it, and he edits it on the side of the river. So anything's possible. What are your favorite movies out of the film festival that you've got?
Well, kind of on that sports tip that you were just mentioning, there's this great film from Spike Jonze called Woods. That's just a kind of phenomenal idea that they shot out in the forest. And on the other end, the festival also features both live action and animation. So we've got this film Extra, which is a Japanese kind of anime film that was done by the art director of Akira, which is kind of the cult classic. And that's also very innovative, how both animation, live action, experimental, traditional narrative are all being done and featured in our festival.
So what I could do is if I went to your website, actually I could see some of those movies in QuickTime and actually get a sample of what you've got.
Yeah, not only
at
could you
the film
download the
festival.
movies, but if you're interested and inspired to make your own film, we also have the information reviews of technology that you'd want to go out and get and how to on our site as well.
That's fascinating stuff. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, you're our resident expert on Hollywood special effects. I know that you've worked on some Hollywood feature films and done some really neat makeup stuff. Can you kind of tell me sort of what's happening on the internet as far as special effects, movie sites and things like that?
Sure, there's a great website called Gremlins in the Garage, which I'm wearing
Gremlins,
a
like the
t-shirt.
movie, Gremlins.
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay, great.
And that's for figure kit modeling, but there's also some great links on there
Now,
to other
figure
websites.
kit modeling. What is figure kit modeling?
Well, that's what you would find, Frankenstein, monster, Dracula, the horror creatures,
models,
right?
Okay.
Miniature models
I
like
did
that.
those when I was a kid. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
now it's become a huge hobby, and they have their own website, which is vast. There's
Wow.
all sorts of things on there with some great links to other websites on special effects, such as one called The Character Shop, and there's others such as Famous Monsters of Filmland has a great website.
Now, what do I find on some of these sites, like the character
Oh,
stuff?
you can find photographs from old movies, you can find articles with interviews of actors, and you can find directors' interviews, you can find how-to articles, all sorts
and
of
this
things.
is all like about the origins of special effects, of
Right, you can-
monster makeup, of things like that.
Yeah, you got it. There's everything on there you can see.
So what are some of the things that really interest you that you find on these sites that help you with your
I
craft?
really like the Ray Harryhausen website. There's
Oh,
some
Ray
great
Harryhausen.
material on there. A filmography of all of his films, a
Now,
whole
if
set
I
of
remember
files
right, Ray Harryhausen, because when I was a kid, I loved Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and
Jason and the Argonauts.
There's a famous scene where their skeletons are fighting with the pirates, and that was probably one of the first special effects that was really big.
Oh, it was fantastic. That's stop motion animation, the king of stop motion animation.
Was Ray Harryhausen.
That's right. And that website has his whole filmography, his background, his history, and it has a huge still file on one of those films as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can go on and see all the origins of that.
Pre-production designs, models, everything.
So he was kind of one of your idols?
You bet. He is one of my idols.
Great. So what other kind of things are out there that people might be interested in?
Oh, you can find things on everything from makeup and miniature models to how they, performers perform in films, and interviews with the actors, interviews with directors.
What about some of the more independent movies that have been coming out now? I know like Quentin Tarantino is someone who's really popular.
Yeah, there's a Quentin Tarantino website, and there's many different websites devoted to him.
And what do you find on some of those kind of sites?
Well, there's a Dusk Till Dawn website, which is one of the most recent films that he did.
It was a real flopper, too.
Yeah, but there's some great special effects in that.
Was it really?
Yeah, and there's a lot of pictures from that on that website.
So that's another thing that you can find there.
Right.
Well, Jane, there are all kinds of neat CD-ROMs out that have to do with the movies. In addition to the stuff we've already seen, there's the James Bond CD, comes with the video, Star Trek movies, Star Wars movie, Cinemania from Microsoft, all that stuff. These are the great Voyager, all the film classics on CD-ROM, but you have found something even cooler.
This is the one I really liked. After talking to Jonathan about the low-res digital film festival, I was pretty jazzed about making my own movie, and so I was looking up on the shelf and I saw this, Steven Spielberg's director's chair, The Game.
And what is it?
Well, this is actually really fascinating. It walks me through the whole process of making a movie. So as though I was the director, and I'm going to walk through, and I go through my script, I pick the scenes, I shoot the scenes.
You have movie stars that are actually...
I've got Jennifer Aniston and I've got Quentin Tarantino, so, big name stars.
And does Spielberg actually do something?
Well, Spielberg is actually, he gets into every few shots and he kind of gives me some tips and some anecdotes about what it's like in the movie business. And what's really interesting is I come through and I start to, just about to, film a scene, and all of a sudden, the hairstylist comes up and she says, well, Jennifer's going to take a while in the chair. We have to do her hair. It's going to take 45 minutes.
The clock is running, the budget's
exactly,
running.
and the little piggy bank starts to, crash.
Right.
It's really fascinating to walk through it. Now,
but you actually get to make a movie?
I actually get to make a movie, and the great thing is that I make an A movie. So I start pretty much on the idiot version of a movie.
You can start as a novice. You don't have to know a lot.
Right, and then I can go to the advanced level where I've got multiple cameras and different shots, and I'm picking the shot that I have. So I mean, I've only gotten to the baby level so far, but I've got a long way to go.
All right, so you go and you actually can shoot the scene, you write the script, you can edit and do sound effects and all that stuff.
The whole thing, and I get coached along the way, so I get a little bit of tips. What's also key is that I have to keep track of my budget, so I can't get one of those, Waterworld budgets. I actually have to keep.
So it's kind of a game in the sense you can fail, right? I mean, you can die if you don't make the movie on time and on budget.
And I may have, gone over budget already.
Can we just get to make a movie now instead of all this talking?
All right, fine.
All right,
let's get
try
to
this
it.
thing. All right, get in here.
Now, which scene do you want to shoot? Okay, now Stewart, you and I have been arguing for the last 5 minutes about the merits of digital video, and I'm a big proponent of it.
No, not the merits, about whether it's revolutionary or not, that's all.
Right, and now, again, the analogy that Jonathan had was the analogy towards the desktop publishing revolution, which I thought was phenomenal in that it allowed me to do the newsletters and the things that I never...
I love digital video. I think it's great. I don't think it's revolutionary, that's all. I think it's love. I want to go home and play and do the stuff right now.
Okay, well, I need to get
Didn't change the world. Andrew, can we get Andrew into this? Would you break up this disagreement?
I was disappointed because I just wanted to watch a movie and I couldn't, so it's not there for me. But I'm excited about next week. We're going to take this jump from movies to writers, people who write movies, people who write books, and look at what's going on the internet, in the computer world. There's a lot of books out there now. A million books. I mean, look at these, and they are tomes. I mean, this one right here is a whole book on just how to use your Netscape web browser. I mean, what am I going to do with all that stuff? So we're going to.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. So it's writing about the web and writing on the web, self-publishing. This is revolutionary, Gene. We'll see you next week at the Internet Cafe.
The Internet Cafe is made possible in part by Intel. One innovative idea always leads to another. Now there are connected CD-ROMs that link rich multimedia with related information on the Internet. For connected CD-ROMs, it's the Intel Pentium processor. Videotapes of the Internet Cafe are available for $24.95 each. To order your copy, call 1-800-916-PCTV. We'll help you stay on top of the rapidly changing world of computers and personal technology. Call today for your copy of this episode of the Internet Cafe or any of our other award-winning programs. When ordering, please ask for tapes by show number and title. That's 1-800-916-PCTV.